All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're digging into the source materials around the miracles attributed to Lord RayEl. And what's really interesting is this idea they present, that the biggest, most important miracles aren't about proving something. Instead, they're a direct result of the message being taught. It's a fascinating twist. You've probably heard this kind of challenge before, right? It's that classic demand people make when they hear something extraordinary. Show me a sign, give me some proof, and then I'll believe. Seems simple enough on the surface. But here's where it gets interesting. What if that whole approach is, well, wrong? The source material we're looking at flips this idea on its head right away, suggesting that maybe we're supposed to be looking for something else entirely. And to back this up, the source actually points to a few biblical verses that give a pretty stark warning against this very mindset, this whole idea of sign-seeking. Let's take a look at what they say. I mean, wow, the language here is really strong. The request for a sign isn't just turned down. The people asking for it are called evil and unfaithful. This completely reframes that desire for proof not as healthy skepticism, but as a spiritual issue. And this verse from Luke just doubles down on that idea. The criticism is aimed at people who are great at reading physical signs, looking at the clouds to predict the weather, but they totally miss the significance of the era they're living in. It's a call for a much deeper kind of perception, one that goes way beyond what you can just see with your eyes. So what we're seeing is this clear contrast being set up in the texts. On one side, you've got the hardened heart. According to Mark, this is someone who can literally see a miracle happen, but still doesn't get the meaning behind it. And on the other side, you have the wise heart, which Ecclesiastes says can discern time and judgment. See the difference? One is just about seeing, but the other is all about understanding. Okay, so that leads us to a really important question. If demanding big, flashy signs for proof is discouraged, then what kind of phenomena are actually being reported in connection with Lord RayEl? Let's see what the materials tell us. Now, the source material does list a whole range of things. We're talking about people being freed from addiction, healings from diseases, and even fulfilled Torah codes. These are definitely the kinds of events that most people would put squarely in the miracle category. But, and this is the really crucial part, the text zooms in on two specific phenomena. It highlights them because they're not just random events. No, they're reported to be directly and consistently tied to the actual act of Lord RayEl teaching his message. This is where that core idea of message over manifestation really comes alive. And here they are, a reported auric glow and something called spontaneous kundalini awakenings. According to the source, these aren't just things that happen randomly, they happen specifically when the teachings are being shared. So first up, this auric glow. The text says it looks kind of like the halos you see in old religious paintings. But here's the key detail. It's reportedly seen most often right when a profound teaching is being given. The miracle isn't separate from the message, you see. It's reportedly presented as literally illuminating it. And the second phenomenon is the kundalini awakening. Now, this is a concept you might know from Eastern traditions, and the source defines it pretty simply as a physical manifestation of spiritual enlightenment. Now, to really get why this is such a big deal, you have to look at the two paths to this experience. The traditional path, it's described as incredibly hard. It takes years, sometimes decades, of intense meditation and training. But the path reported in the source, it's spontaneous. It apparently happens just from listening to a teaching or even just being near the person giving it. And that's the real kicker. The source makes this incredibly bold claim that this kind of spontaneous awakening, one that's triggered just by listening to someone speak, was unheard of before now. It completely reframes the idea of a miracle. It's not a big public spectacle. It's a deep, internal, transformative experience sparked directly by the message. So what does this all add up to when we put it all together? It really seems like the source material is trying to completely reframe our concept of what a miracle even is and what it's for. It all comes down to this massive shift in focus. We move away from the idea of miracles as some kind of external proof for a skeptic. Instead, they're presented as an internal consequence, a direct result of engaging with the teachings. The enlightenment isn't the prize you get for believing, it's the direct effect of the message itself. And that leaves us with a really powerful final thought to chew on. The source challenges us to rethink our definitions. If a phenomenon's main goal isn't to prove something to an outsider, but to enlighten the listener from the inside out, is it still a miracle? That question really gets to the heart of what we've been exploring today.